You did? Good.
And I got rocks. I got rocks.
Are those
for
gonna?
you.
Oh, you got one for me? Thank you. How about one? Kate, do you want one?
Want a rock?
Can you say thank you? Oh, Mom's gonna hold it. Kate was collecting rocks a minute ago too. Rocky area.
Oh, let's go. Yeah. Whoa, somebody opened this. Could I close this window, please, Mommy? Could I close it, please?
No.
But please.
You want to close that window?
Uh-huh.
No, but the lady wants to leave it open.
Why?
She said.
What if she closes it? What if she does that? What if she does that, Mommy?
Let's go over there. I think I saw Mark.
There she is.
This way.
Come on. Come on, Kate, this way.
She's grown up.
Hey, Mark. Great to see you. You're so big.
Mommy, hold me.
So welcome everybody to the 1887 Windermere Schoolhouse. It was opened in 1887. This is one of the only surviving one-room schoolhouses in all of Orange County and one of the few left in the entire state of Florida. It is a frame vernacular. It would be the architectural style, capped with metal roof. It was communally constructed using locally milled heartwood from the Florida longleaf pines. So those big longleaf pines that you see all around Windermere, some of those are about 300 years old because they're super slow growing, super strong, dense wood, and that's why the wood is still here today. It's from the heart of the pine.
Mommy.
Well dug near the front entrance, and I'll show that to you, and near the front door remains. Maud Adams was one of the first full-time teachers, along with Mip Davis. There was a schoolmaster and a schoolmistress. Educated generations of settlers and town builders within these walls. Ms. Adams received a salary of $22 per month for 22 students. So that was $1 per month per student to teach. So the town offices were the second schoolhouse. The 1916 schoolhouse annex is where the town offices now are. In 2011, citizens organized to prevent an attempt to move the building. They were going to move it off and take the land for development, and we stopped it just in time. They literally had it up on trailers when we shut that down, and they had to put it back, which would have compromised its historic integrity and taken it off the National Register. It would have been, the whole site would have been destroyed.
Let's listen.
So when you went to school way back then, you would have gone in here.
Yeah.
It's gonna look a little different than your classroom, I bet.
So you would have, the teacher would have rang the bell to get you guys into the school.
Hey, kids, come here. Lucas.
So we took the
Are there
wasp
bees
nest
still in
out
it?
of there.
I'm
It's
the one that rang
gone.
the bell.
Oh, it was a wasp nest?
Yeah, it was a wasp nest.
It was a wasp nest.
So the teacher would have rung the bell, and you would have gone into the
Now,
house.
where's that well you were speaking of?
If you peer into here, you'll see that there's a cap on the well. See the metal cap?
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's the metal cap.
Oh, okay.
You can
So-
just make out the...
But the well wasn't introduced until after?
Oh, no, the well was here.
Oh.
Go ahead. Everybody go ahead.
Even when
The
it
well-
was a schoolhouse?
The well was built at the same time that the schoolhouse was erected, but it has to be restored.
Oh,
You have to
okay.
raise the money to restore the well.
Okay, got it.
So, how do you think we know that this was a kindergarten through 12 class? You see this picture over here?
Oh, look at the kids. Look at this picture.
So this is an actual picture of the little children, just like you, that went to the school. And we know that it was kindergarten through 12 because look at the little girl sitting on Miss Maud Adams, the teacher's lap. How old does she look to you? Come look, come close.
About 4.5.
Yeah, she looks about your age, doesn't she?
About 4.5.
So you have all these little toddlers, 4, 5, 6 maybe. These are all your age, children that are your age. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks like, that are maybe your age. And then you have middle school students, and then you have your high school students in the back. So that would have been the schoolmistress, Mrs. Maud Adams. That would have been the schoolmaster, Mip Davis. And then you have your high school, middle school, and elementary school students. You see that? What do you see poking out of the walls, guys? What is that? What do you think that is?
I don't know.
Well, what is that over there? What do you think this is? Come touch it. Tell me what you think this is. What is this? What is it? What's it made out of? Come touch.
I think it's made out of metal.
It is made out of metal. Very good observation. So, what do you see on the top here? What is this?
hole.
A hole.
Yeah.
So, what do you think this looks like?
A stove.
A stove. Good. Good guess. That's awesome. This is what the old stoves look like in the 1800s. What would you...
Look in this hole.
Well, that hole is where the stovepipe was. You see that stovepipe coming out in the picture?
See the look
You
at
would have had to vent, all the smoke would have had to be vented out of the schoolhouse. Why? Why do you have to vent the smoke out?
Because this comes out.
Right, but what smoke is not good for you to breathe in. Why? What happens if you breathe in carbon monoxide? It's very, very bad for you. You might choke and die. That's right.
Where was
So,
that?
so it would have been
Right
up
here.
through the wall.
Oh,
You would have to vent all the smoke from the fire out through the wall. Now, why do you think they used a stove during winter?
What is that?
Lucas,
Lucas.
why do you think they used a stove during winter?
No.
Well, does it get cold in the winter? Yeah, sometimes it gets cold in the winter. It's okay, Mama, it's okay. So if it gets cold in the winter, how do you stay warm?
I don't know.
You put on a jacket and you go get near a nice hot warm fire, right? Yeah, well, in Florida, I know it's hard to imagine, but yeah, in the old days when it was cold here, there was no air conditioning back then. Was there electricity back in the 1800s?
No.
No. So how did they get their light back then?
I
Show.
don't know.
They would have lit lanterns. See the lanterns? Your job as a student would be to light the oil in the lantern, and if it was a night class or a night meeting, we would have hung up the lanterns. And you would have had to light by oil or by candlelight. There would have been no electricity, no flip the switch, no air conditioning. What did the teacher use to teach? What did they use to teach back then? A book. They used to take the lessons and put them where? On the chalkboard. So be careful.
Don't touch,
'cause
don't
that's
touch.
the teacher's lesson, and she wants you to look at it. So you would have done your mathematics. You would have learned your sums and your numbers and your letters and how to write. So what is this, you guys?
What is
A chicken.
Right, but what is this? A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
The alphabet.
H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
Alphabet.
The alphabet. So how would the teacher have taught you your alphabet if you were in the school? You would read it and say A is for at, B is for, what is that? Boy, C is for, D is for, right. So you would have learned all your alphabet letters from just the pictorial alphabet. And then you would learn to read from the books. So what are these, you guys? What are these slates with the chalk?
Now, is this an actual slate or are these kind of modernized?
These are kind of modernized, but this
Okay.
would have been. So what are these slates? What would you have done with the slates
Lucas,
and the
no.
chalk?
You would write it
You would write what?
the alphabet.
The alphabet. You would have written your alphabet
Don't
and the
leave the
numbers
stick.
so that you would have learned. And so when it rained, where do you think they got to go out and play when it rained?
Outside.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't have gone out to play during recess if it rained on a day like this, right?
Well, he might have had a rain jacket.
Right, maybe.
No,
Maybe. They
maybe.
certainly would have had an umbrella.
Did they have umbrellas back
Yeah,
then?
they did have umbrellas back then. Umbrellas have been invented. So you know that you learned from books. How did you learn how to do addition and subtraction? Did they have calculators back then?
I don't know.
Oh, so what is this over here?
Set it down, buddy.
What's this? Come look and come touch. What is this?
Then you know what this is,
I
buddy.
don't know.
It's an abacus. It's a hand calculator for calculating ones, fives, and tens. So you would have learned how to use a hand calculator called an abacus to do your addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So what are these? Look at these. What are these?
These are like kind of.
They're little wooden counting beads, aren't they? Yes, they're wooden counting beads, so that you would learn how to do your mathematics, your addition, subtraction, by using a giant abacus. Cool, huh?
Abacus.
Abacus. This is a giant abacus. Usually they come smaller when you're in school, but this is a big one. for instructional and for the teacher to use for instruction. These are actual books from the 1800s, and you'll see here is the first lines of English grammar. So you're looking at some of the original books they would have used back then. The very first word primer. So here's your very first word primer, Swinton's word primer, first year's work. So you would have learned your alphabet, and your first words would have been 4-letter words. So look, here's your first reader. If you were in first grade or kindergarten, this is what you would have used to learn your alphabet.
Oh, they didn't have the fancy pictures we have today.
We actually do have the book with the fancy pictures. That's what we put up on the wall.
Oh, okay.
So we just basically took the pictures from the primers, blew them up, and put them on the wall. Now, how do we know how many students were in the school, and how do we know that the school is this old?
Well, we want it on that.
So we
Be
know
very
that the
gentle.
school
This is an
from
old
the
book.
Is before
Wait, let mommy do it. It's a very old book.
Here's the teacher's name. Look at this. Here's the teacher's name, Mrs. Maud Adams.
There are no
And there's
pictures.
the students. So she had how many? It says total students, boys and girls. So she had 7.
Mommy do it. Mommy does it. These are very old.
They're very, very old books from these books are over 100 years old.
Okay, don't be careful.
That would have been crayons. You would have used crayons, and you would have used chalk on your.
Oh, that's a box of crayons. How it would have looked.
Yes, how it would have looked. And you would have used. Do you guys homeschool?
I want to homeschool, but
All right. So progressive primer, and I'm going to send you guys home with a 1. We had them reproduce on how you would learn your handwriting and your cursive. So this is your word primer that you would have used as a kindergarten.
oh, Lulu, there. She's gonna show you.
I'll
Look,
show
she's
you.
got 'em
Look.
again.
There
But
you go. Yeah. So the crayons would have been inside a tin. They would have actually been inside a tin. They would not have been inside a box. They would have been inside a tin.
But that's how the box used to
Yes.
look, or the tin.
Now the box looks like this, but in the old days, you would have been in a tin. Okay. There's a brochure here too that gives you a little bit more history
Thank you.
of the schoolhouse. Whoa. What about the flag? How many stars and stripes did the flag have back then?
I don't know.
Well, since Florida was only a state, let's see, Florida became the 27th state in 1845. So, how many stars were on the flag then? Can you count the stars?
Count all those stars.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It is 38 stars. So you would have 38 stars on the flag back then. We wouldn't have been 50 states yet.
Wow. What about this, guys? This original?
So guys, what is this right here? What is this? What is it made out of?
A pot.
It is a big pot. You're right. For boiling laundry. And this, what is this? That's a washboard. You would have rubbed your laundry and your clothes with soap and water to get them clean in a washboard with a wash bucket.
That would have taken so long to do all of your
have a
laundry.
washing
Yes, that was what you used to wash your laundry with. Here's the rain coming down. Do you see how the windows open and close? Did you see how they do these old windows? They're called weights and pulleys. Let me show you. See the weight in the pulley? See it over here? There's a pulley inside. There's the pulley. And what you don't see is inside the windowsill there's a weight. So you can push the window, this really heavy window, up and down real easy with the weights and the pulleys. What kind of benches are these? Look at it. What is this on the side here?
It looks kind of like a logo.
It's a label or a logo, and it says Pioneer Brand, Chase and Company. So these were citrus labels. See the oranges on the labels? So why do you think the kids were sitting on citrus crates? Why would they have been using citrus crates? What's out there?
Rain.
Besides the rain, what are those green trees out there? Do you think they were growing citrus in a grove out there? What do you think? Yes, they were growing citrus. Because this is Orange County. We live in Orange County where they grew citrus all around us. Windermere was a citrus town. Gotha was a citrus town. Winter Garden was a citrus town. Ocoee was a citrus town. Every town, almost every town in this area was a big citrus growing town. So everybody grew oranges. That's how they made a living, was on their citrus groves. And that's why Orange County's name got changed from Mosquito County to Orange County.
Oh.
Its original name was Mosquito County, but they changed it to Orange County. So Gotha, a lot of these German settlers were coming in through Gotha, building their orange groves and staying around Windermere, Ocoee, Winter Garden, Gotha, and then the packing houses. All the railroads ran the citrus to the packing houses in Winter Garden on Plant Street. So that whole historic district in Winter Garden is the original packing houses, the original movie theater, the original Edgewater Hotel. All that is the historic buildings of downtown Windermere where all the packing houses were. This whole town used to be citrus on the lakes. And fish camps. Fish camps and citrus. So we were very lucky to see some of the original citrus labels that are on from here, from the Chase family. They gave us all their labels to put back on the... So because there was no indoor plumbing, you would have had to use the privy or the
Lucas,
outhouse.
stay out here.
Now this doesn't work anymore, but this is where the students had to use the bathroom.
Oh, do you see where they went potty?
Yeah, this is where everybody had to use the bathroom because there was no plumbing back then. You didn't flush toilets back then. You went outside to the outhouse.
Can you imagine if you had to go to the potty?
Is
You
it?
had to run all the way over here to use the potty?
I don't know.
Yeah, leave it. And I mean, there's no light. I guess you got a little light coming in from.
Peep in, go peep in here.
You know, you can't go now because it doesn't work anymore.
No. Come on out, buddy.
Sort of like the St. Augustine outhouse. It doesn't work anymore. It's just for show to show you where you would have gone to the bathroom back in the old days.
So this doesn't lock.
No. But it would
Imagine,
have back then. You can see a hole right here with there would have been a latch.
imagine girls on their periods.
I
I know. And those dresses, yeah.
You used rags.
Yeah, but I mean, still, you can both have a turn. Go ahead and ring it.